Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, madam.
Ma'am, we'll wait for 2 more minutes, ma'am, with your permission. Thank you.
Sure.
Ma'am, shall we go with the formalities? Shall we
please
continue?
go ahead. Please go ahead. Start.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. Good morning to one and all. It gives me immense pleasure to warmly welcome you all to this 3-day international virtual conference on gender, power, patriarchy, re-examining Shakespeare's women in the #MeToo era. This prestigious academic event is jointly organized by the Department of English, SKUT Government Degree College, Rajamahendravaram, under the guidance of IQAC, in collaboration with the PG and Research Department of English, Tirukolanjiapar Government Arts College, Tamil Nadu, and in association with Venkat Stein, an Academy of Excellence, along with our academic and industry partners. And actually, we all have to pay tribute to Shakespeare. And before we proceed further, let us take a moment to pay our humble tribute to the timeless literary genius, William Shakespeare, whose works continue to shape global literature, culture, and critical thought. Shakespeare's portrayal of women, complex, resilient, silenced, and yet powerful, remains profoundly relevant even today. In the context of the MeToo era, revisiting his works enable us to uncover new meanings, challenges, established interpretations, and engage in deeper conversations about gender, voice, and power. To formally inaugurate this academic gathering and to share his valuable insights, I now invite our respected principal, Dr. B.V. Tirupaniam sir, to address the gathering. Sir? 1 minute. Wait for a moment. Please wait for a moment. He'll join us. Without wasting our time, I would like to introduce our first resource person, Dr. Suvarna Lakshmi ma'am, and then we'll go with the principal's message. It is indeed a privilege and an honor to introduce our distinguished resource person for the first session, Dr. G. Suvarna Lakshmi. Dr. G. Suvarna Lakshmi is a professor in the Department of ELT, School of English Language Teaching at the IFLU, Hyderabad. With over 2 decades of research experience in teaching, training, and research, she has made remarkable contributions to the field of English language education. Her academic expertise lies in developing critical thinking skills for language learning across all levels. Her areas of research are both diverse and impactful, encompassing classroom interactions, teaching methodologies and materials, cognitive development, and the influence of culture on thinking and social development. Dr. Suvarnalakshmi has an impressive global academic presence. She has conducted more than 120 teachers training workshops and has presented over 80 research papers at prestigious international conferences across countries such as USA, UK, Thailand, Nepal, Singapore, Libya, and Malaysia. Her scholarly contributions include numerous research publications in reputed national and international journals, as well as authorship and editorship of books and academic chapters. She has also developed distance education materials for esteemed institutions like NSOU, BRAOU, and IFLU. Her textbooks have been widely prescribed for engineering and degree students in Andhra Pradesh, reflecting her significant impact on curriculum development. Her teaching journey spans an extraordinary range from primary education to PhD programs, covering ELT, ESP courses, placement training, and ETS assessment tests. In addition, she serves as a subject expert on board of studies in over 30 higher educational institutions and contributes actively to recruitment panels and syllabus design for public service commissions in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. We are truly honored to such an accomplished academician with us today. She will be delivering her session on the topic logical reasoning and problem-solving skills in Shakespeare's women. Let us now warmly welcome Dr. G. Suvarnalakshmi for her insightful session. And ma'am, before that, I would like to ask my principal to give a message. And warmly welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you,
Dr.
Swarna. Thank you.
Thank you, Suvarna, ma'am. Dr. Tirupanyam, sir, are you there? Mr. Sharath Babu Garu, Academic Coordinator. Okay, ma'am. They will join us and we can go with our work, ma'am.
Right, not an issue. Thank you so much to my dear friend and former colleague, Dr. Swarnashree. And I really appreciate and thank SKVT Government Degree College from East Godavari district of Andhra Pradesh, along with PG and Research Department of English from Tirukalinjiappar Government Arts College of Tamil Nadu, and Venkat's Time for organizing this conference, particularly on the eve of celebrating English Language Day, which is also the birthday of Shakespeare, which is unfortunately or fortunately the death day as well. Give me 1 second time. Let me also frankly admit before all of you, I've been in the stream of English language education not with literature, but with a flavor I have for literature as a student of literature for my master's also. I took interest in this particular conference when Dr. Swarnasri invited me to be one of the speakers. I feel it as a privilege and also an honor to be part of this conference today. Is my screen visible? Is my screen visible?
No, ma'am. Not previously it's visible.
Okay. What do I do?
Good morning, madam.
Good morning.
It's visible and also audible, madam. Clearly.
Thank
Then
you.
it's fine.
Thank you, madam.
Good.
Thank you. That's nice. Yeah. So I thought of beginning my talk by wishing all of us, me being part of it, a happy English language day. Now, the title of my presentation, as I chose, is Logical Reasoning and Problem Solving Skills in Shakespeare's Women. The reason for this, I will explain as we go on. But I have something else to also remind or reminiscence all of us for about Shakespeare. Shakespeare was born and also he died on the same date, that is April 28th, 1564 and 1616. Shakespeare is certainly the most written about single author in the academic history. His works are translated and existed in 120 languages, and it's 2.3 million theses and dissertations that are submitted, and more than 1,000 graduate schools and universities approved the thesis for doctorates, and over 60,000 new dissertations and theses are added each year. This is the extensiveness of his work and the research that has been continuing for more than two centuries.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Ma'am, your screen is not visible to us, ma'am.
I'm very
And
sorry.
some of our, yeah.
But I see it as a shared screen.
Madam is sharing the screen, madam. Hello. Excuse
Hello,
me.
sir.
Now
Now it's visible, ma'am.
sharing of the screen visible, but madam is not visible.
That is okay. That shouldn't matter.
Okay, madam.
Right. So he is a person who introduced so many new words into English language. And as of date, they discovered that it is 1,700 words, but they also have been saying that there are more number of words, almost 2,500 words extra, which are not yet established that it is Shakespeare who introduced them, but there are all possibilities that he did. So that is his greatness. Simple words like what we use today as generous, boredom, lonely, obscene, swagger, puking, and zany. These are simple words that we regularly use, and these are being introduced by Shakespeare to English language. He remains for more than 4 centuries as one of the most quoted and studied and performed writers in human history, I should say, because this is extraordinary by any measure for a single poet come playwright. His characters have a very unique tendency of of psychological, social, emotional ranges. It's not single type, and it's not from one perspective. There is no commonality from one play, one character to another character. You can only contrast them when you compare, but you will not find many similar things. Like one women character speaking similar to another women character is something which you do not find, and that is why he's celebrated even today. That is a uniqueness in creating characters as he has done. There are lots of debates, lots of disputes against what Shakespeare has written, Shakespeare's existence, Shakespeare's acting. There are lots of things about it, but let us believe that he is a writer. It is he who is a writer, and he has written those 36 plays. I should also say I found this very interesting. I should also say that he's extraordinarily alive, because we forget many people. There are scholars of his times and later times as well, but he being celebrated as a poet is something, or as a playwright is something which no other writer or playwright is being celebrated as. So if you see, there are cigars in his name, there are coffees in his name, there are latte coffees with his pictures that are very famous and the most expensive in Starbucks. And there are soaps, there is coffee, there are cups that are being sold with his face, and so on and so forth. So that is why I say he's an extraordinarily celebrated and extraordinarily alive poet. Yeah. Coming to Shakespeare's women, in his time, the social conditions of women in Shakespeare's time is not a very positive one. Women were banned from acting. That is a prime, because we are concerned with drama. And on the Elizabethan stage, females are not supposed to get onto the dais. So it is a young boys who played the roles of Juliet or Lady Macbeth or Cleopatra. Legal, social, and political truth is that everything is unstable. This is because the belief system as a religion also is not so stable. The Pope exterminated Queen Elizabeth is a classical example for this, to say the instability and unconformity of the age. Women are treated as legal property of male guardians. They have to be controlled, silenced, and destroyed. If they're not silenced and controlled, the next step is to destroy them, as we see in one of the characters we'll come across. They were defined by who they belong to. It is like a property they're treated, and either they belong to the father or the husband. That is the belongingness of or identity of women as they exist. If there are statements that I make which you do not agree with, you are free to post it in the chat. We will discuss that. I will take it up as a discussion later. As you all see and know, literature is primarily for interpretation. My perspective of looking at Shakespeare's women is what I'm presenting today as per my interpretation of the literary works. Now, if you contradict with it, if you say that you see it from a different perspective, or you have some other truth with you, you're very welcome. You can post it in the chat box, and we will take it up as and when we find some time. And for the organizers also, Dr. Swarna, in case, Swarna, yeah, in case your administrators, your principal or other organizers are ready to give a talk to the audience, you can surely stop me there. I'm ready to stop and give space for them to address a gathering.
Ma'am, you please proceed, ma'am. And we have even internal examinations. Sir is going for rounds, and he will join us, ma'am.
Right. So as and when he joins, you can stop me, you can indicate to me,
Thank
and
you, ma'am.
I will stop and give him space. Because
So nice.
he holds that administrative position. We should really respect his position.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Elizabethan society, once again, restricts women's education and public roles. They're not supposed to hold any degrees, eligibilities to be playing certain roles, particularly as advocates and so on. Shakespeare often used disguise, wit, or exceptional circumstances to allow certain women to display their intellectual abilities. The intellectual abilities some of his characters exhibited are analytical reasoning, rhetorical skill, political intelligence, emotional insight, and strategic planning. Logical reasoning and problem solving in the senses that I used here are this, that is, the logic is not of the present days. The logic that they used were primarily for solving problems, which is not practiced on paper. So this is a problem. Let me solve 10 types of this problem. And so the 11th one, I'll be able to take it in the exam. It's not that problem solving that we are talking about. Those are the real life problems, mostly life and death questions, struggling with establishing their identity. And it is also saving the dignity and honor and reputation as individuals with logical thinking. Individuals, characters that women characters in Shakespeare saved are not the characters themselves, but also the others we will come across. The characters that are that exhibited primarily some strategic reasoning and problem solving or logical thinking skills are I've chosen only these 6 characters, not that the other characters do not have. The other characters have more other um, um, features which do not primarily represent as thinking characters. So I've chosen these 6 characters, and I'll give you reasons why I specifically chose these. One, in Shakespearean times, once again, the characters challenge patriarchal norms. That is why I chose these characters. They challenge the patriarchal norms, and they still operate within the constraints of the stage and the conventions of the time. So, as any literary work that has reputation of the time, which is considered classic, definitely will have to fall in line with the social conditions that exist in those times. So that is why Shakespearean women also work within the constraints of the period, that is the age of the social conditions of their age. On top of it, they're also supposed to um, fall in line with the stage norms of that period, that women should not come and play any roles. That is also one of the constraints. And these women often have to navigate restrictive patriarchal society by using disguise, rhetorical skill, strategic deception, and clear-eyed analysis of situations to resolve conflicts particularly, and they outmaneuver opponents and orchestrate happy outcomes. Uh, this is if they are into comedies particularly, but the tragic characters are also there, which do not have always a happy outcomes. They stand out for actively shaping events rather than passively enduring them. I'm talking about particularly the 6 characters I have listed here. And as I initially have mentioned, no character is compared to the other. The conditions in which one character behaves and exhibits the wit and intelligence is not compared to the others. Do you want me to stop, Swarna, by any chance?
Sir, madam,
Hmm.
sir will give us message, ma'am.
Yeah, right. I'll stop here.
Very good morning to you all. I am honored. I feel honored and privileged to be associated with this to the international conference that is being organized jointly by Activity Government Degree College, Rajahmundry, and also the first Government Arts College, PG Department, Tamil Nadu. I appreciate the efforts of the departments of English of both the colleges. The theme is fit nowadays. The conference is objective is to make analysis of the representation of women, power, and patriarchy in the works of the great Shakespeare. I hope that this conference is with all the participants, especially the literature stream. Help them, all the participants, to have an idea on the contemporary feminist and gender theories in the context of Shakespeare's works. I request all the participants to kindly participate actively so that you can take away so many things from this conference. The participants can gain a deeper insights into historical and ongoing patriarchal structure reflected in the Shakespeare's works. Besides, the participants also have an idea on the Shakespeare's female characters, modern critical perspectives, and it makes the audience and participants engage in feminist and intersectional frameworks in literary analysis. I hope that this is really going to benefit all the participants a lot, and I wish this conference a great success, and I appreciate the efforts of the tenants of both the colleges. And also thank all the research persons, including Professor Dr. G. Swarnalakshmi Garu, Dr. P. Malati Gabriel, Dr. Hussain, Dr. E. Rambhaskar Raj Garu, Professor Praveen Kumar Shaman, and Professor Dr. Mohit Ul Alam for giving us consent to deliver lectures in this 3-day international conference. And I thank the principal of the Thiru College Government Arts College, also Venkat's time, for giving us an opportunity to be in collaboration with this 3-day international conference. I also appreciate the efforts of the Department of English of this college, headed by Dr. Swarnasri Madam, and her team in conceiving and arranging this conference in such a wonderful fashion. Thank you all. All the best.
Thank you very much, sir. Now I request our academic coordinator, Dr. G. Sarath Babu Garu, please convey your message.
Good morning to all. The 3-day national seminar on gender power and patriarchy and Reexamining Shakespeare's women in the MeToo era. This is a wonderful thought by our madam, Dr. Y. Swarnasri. Best all the best to all who participants and speakers. I request from our college side, this is 3-day schedule as per timings to 10 to 1 every day. Utilize our students from our college to outside colleges. I hope this is successfully seminar event conducted by our college and our madam. Thank you one and all.
Thank you, academic coordinator. Thank you so much. Please, participants, excuse me. Prasad sir, Prasad, Akshaya Bogi, Akshaya Bogi, Akshaya Bogi. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Suvarna Lakshmi, ma'am. Thank you. Actually, we have troubled you a lot. Please
Not at all, not
proceed,
at
ma'am.
all. I respect your time and your formalities.
Thank you.
Do you want me to continue?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So back to our discussion on Shakespeare's women characters. As I told you, the 6 characters are what I chose. And the first character, when you talk about logical reasoning, the first character that comes to our mind is Portia in Merchant of Venice. So if you look at how initially, as per the when I said in the previous slide that Shakespeare's women actually tend to go by the societal norms of that time, as well as break the norms in disguise or in other forms when they want to show their capabilities and think that they have a better solution than their men in that particular scene or play. So if you, to establish the same, I would like to give this particular dialogue of Portia to Bassanio. Now, she says, my gentle spirit commits itself to yours to be directed as from her lord, her governor, her king. Myself and what is mine to you and yours is now converted. This house, these servants, and this same myself are yours, my lord. So this is how she tends to submit herself completely to her husband. And the most intelligent and independent thinker is how she's shown in the court scene. But it's almost very submissive, and then her disguise shows that gender is performative. Um, this is how we have to look at Portia, start admiring her for her submissiveness, complete submission to her husband, saying everything I have, including my thinking, my thought, my existence, everything is yours. And I go by what you say. However, I have my own stance. Okay, that is a wit of the play. So Portia stands out of other female characters as she is Shakespeare's most explicitly legal-minded heroine. Um, Implicitly, of course, you have Cleopatra also as a political minded heroine, but this is not politics that they do, but it is in with Portia, it is probably the legal, ethical, moral kind of aspects that she exhibits. She analyzes the bond, interprets the loopholes, constructs a watertight argument in the courtroom scene would stand as evidence for her reasoning. She is one of Shakespeare's most intellectually formidable heroines, disguised as a male lawyer, that is, Balthazar, with a letter of recommendation from a respected doctor of laws. She infiltrates into the Venice court and saves her husband's friend, that is, Antonio, from Shylock's deadly bond. She first appeals to mercy with eloquent reasoning. She says, this is not right on your part, ethically to kill a person, to take flesh, and so on. She tries to plead, but that doesn't work with Shylock. So Then she applies that razor sharp legal logic to interpret the bond literally, exploiting its wording to prevent bloodshed while trapping Shylocks in Venice's anti-alien laws. So this multi-step problem solving, that is rhetorical persuasion, strict textual analysis, plus enforcement of secondary penalties, showcases her superior intellect over the male characters in the whole play, making every audience fall in love with her. So this is, I think you cannot stop yourself from falling in love with this character. Um, these are the key dialogues that she has in the court. The first part shows how she pleads, and the second part shows how she gets back on it and goes very legally. And of course, not as she, but in a disguise of a man. The quality of mercy is not strained. It droppeth as the gentle rain from heaven upon the place beneath. It is twice blessed. It blesseth him that gives and him that takes. This mightiest and in the mightiest earthly power doth then show likest gods when mercy seasons justice. Therefore, Jew, though justice thy plea, consider this, that in the course of justice, none of us should see salvation. She pleads initially, and then later she shifts to logic when mercy fails. This is how she says, why? This bond is forfeit, and lawfully by this the Jew may claim a pound of flesh. This bond doth give thee here no jot of blood. The words expressively are a pound of flesh. Take then thy bond, take thou thy pound of flesh, but in the cutting it, if thou dost shed one drop of Christian blood, thy lands and goods are by the laws of Venice confiscate unto the state of Venice. Shed thou no blood, nor cut thou less nor more, but just a pound of flesh. So that is the warning she gives. And that is a whole twist of the drama that happens there. And see, the whole scene turns around her. And Portia's precision turns an impossible situation into victory through deductive reasoning and knowledge of Venetian law. So that is about Portia. I've just picked up a few very important lines from the text that represent my ideology as characters that have some logic and wit. Moving on to the second character, that is Rosalind in As You Like It. It's a comedy, and the most kind of very light kind of comedy that you have. There is no friction, there is no worry, there is no tragic pain in any of the characters. So this again, the prime part of comedy is coming from disguise, as girls turn into boys and boys turn into girls, the four main characters disguising themselves. This play seems to work against the categorization or fixing of one mode of desire or anything. Rosalind gives herself to her father, and he gives her to her husband. So this is something which again falls in line with the social norms of that time. They don't go against. She is expelled, so she is in the forest of Arden, and along with her comes Celia, and so on. The story goes on. I don't want to discuss the outline or summaries of any of the plays. I presume all of you have read all plays of Shakespeare at some point of time or the other by now, being in the English stream. So here is what I analyze as Rosalind. She stands out because she designs and manages an elaborate identity-based plan. That is her disguise as Ganymede to test Orlando's love. And Rosalind has emotional intelligence rather than the intellectual intelligence that Portia has displayed in the court. And she has that strategic disguise, and this is just to test her own lover's love. And the conflict resolution skills are very good. It goes in a very smooth and romantic manner. Rosalind, exiled and disguised as a shepherd Ganymede, takes complete control of her romantic fate and those around her. So she diagnoses Orlando's love sickness with critical precision, drawing on her uncle's marks of a lover, then devises a practical multi-day cure through role play. And if you remember, she asked Orlando to come to her every day to treat his sickness of love. This orchestrated therapy not only tests Orlando, but also resolves the play tangled love plots that includes the others of Phoebe and Sylvius and others. With 685 lines, that is the longest female role in Shakespeare. She directs events logically, blending cynicism, empathy, and wit to engineer the quadruple wedding. And if you look at the emotional intelligence that she expresses, Rosalind as Ganymede analyzing and curing love. Love is merely a madness, and I tell you, deserves as well a dark house and a whip of madmen do, as madmen do. Yet I profess curing it by counsel. What we today call as counseling for everything. It is there even in those days. That is how so wonderfully it is put. He was to imagine me his love, his mistress, and I set him every day to woo me. At which time would I, being but a monish youth, grieve, but effeminate, changeable, longing and liking, proud, fantastical, apish, shallow, inconstant, but I drave my suitor from his madness, humor of love, to a living humor of madness. And thus I cured him, and this way will I take upon me a wash your liver as clean as a sound sheep's heart. And she later invites Orlando every day. I would cure you if you would but call me Rosalind and come every day to my court and woo me. Her systematic experimental approach to the emotions of Orlando exemplifies the logical problem solving that she displays. She wants to confirm, she wants to feel happy emotionally, she wants to give support to Orlando, and at the same time she would like to get the strength of being wooed by a man of his stature. And Orlando, after winning the war, showing his majestic fighting skills. Despite that, she wants to make him soft and become her lover, in the way she likes. That is how she tunes Orlando to him. And that is her greatness. Moving on to the next character. This is Viola from 12th Night. After a shipwreck, as you know, she quickly assesses her limited options and chooses to disguise. This is another disguise, not as Rosalind has done, that ensures safety and agency. All the three women, like Portio and Rosalind and Viola, all the three go for disguise, but disguise again as men uh, to to solve the problems, not directly faced by them, but faced by others. So she is so reasonable and patient that when she trusts someone, and we are persuaded that her faith is justified. She has adaptive thinking and diplomacy, that the social navigation skills are being exhibited and how she resolves the issues. So the shipwrecked and disguised as page of Cicero, and to serve the Duke, Viola becomes the unwitting center of a love triangle. So Orsino loves Olivia, Olivia loves Cicero, and Viola loves Orsino. So that triangle is being created by her disguise, and there is some chaos and confusion that is created. She quickly analyzes the chaos caused in her disguise and acknowledges the risks of deception. So, especially on women's backs and hearts, she talks about. She pragmatically concludes that only time can resolve the knot, and her resourcefulness, adapting to male roles, delivering witty messages, and maintaining secrecy allows her to survive and ultimately unite the lovers. So one of the soliloquies that she is given is this. She loves me, sure, disguise. I see the art of wickedness, wherein the pregnant enemy does much. How will this fetch? My master loves her dearly, and I, poor monster, fond as much on him, and she, mistaken, seems to dote on me. O time, thou must untangle this, not I. It is too hard a knot for me to unite, to untie. This moment of clear eyed reasoning amid emotional turmoil highlights her intelligence and patience as problem solving tools. This is my fourth character. Hermione is not a positive kind of character that ways. She's not the one uh, who actually fights and wins like other characters. Winter's Tale is a comic tragedy or tragic comedy, whatever. It's a combination of both, because in the first act itself, you see two deaths, but the scene shifts from one act to another, and the gap between the two scenes is 16 years. So Hermione is stands out because she defends herself with calm logic during her trial. She's initially put in trial because of the suspicious husband, and when she is by then she is carrying, she is in her family way, and she also delivers a baby in the prison itself. Appealing to reason, justice, and moral truth, she fights for herself. There is no advocate to stand up for her. She herself argues, and Hermione, falsely accused by her jealous husband, Leontis, of adultery and treason, faces a public trial shortly after giving birth in prison. She defends herself with calm eloquent logic rather than emotional outbursts. She doesn't cry, she doesn't shed tears, she doesn't make a scene out of it. Nothing. She quietly and very composedly presents herself in the court, and she presents her argument. She acknowledges the futility of simple denial in a biased court. Mine integrity slashes being counted falsehood. This is that way is a very squeezing kind of character. You feel so bad for her status just because she's friendly and also is a warm host to one of her husband's friend. She is thrown to prison, and there is no reason for it. There is no actual logical reason that the king thinks about, but still she had to oblige. This appeals to divine justice over human tyranny and prioritizes honor over life. This is something which actually gives a tragic ending to this character. The strategically invokes the oracle of Apollo, despite oracle of Apollo giving her a clean chit as per the present norms, or acquitting her of the guilt that her husband has claimed. She is still found to be, or given the sentence by her husband that she is guilty, and she falls unconscious and dies there itself. That's how her character ends, basically. Like there are no other, what should I say, no dialogues from Hermione, but she exists throughout the other plays also in the form of a statue. Though she dies, that is, or enters hiding from grief, her later reappearance fulfills the oracle and restores order. This reflects intellectual and moral strength in the powerless situation. Of course, she's announced to be dead, but she's hiding in the form of a statue. She keeps seeing everything. She's silent. She doesn't have any role to play because she's just an observer. The major dialogue where she defends herself is this: since what I am to say must be, but that which contradicts my accusation and the testimony on my part, no other but what comes from myself. It shall scarce boot me to say not guilty. Mine integrity, being counted falsehood, shall, as I express it, be so received. But thus, if powers divine behold our human actions as they do, I doubt not then, but innocence shall make false accusation blush and tyranny tremble at patience. I tell you this rigor and not law. Tell me what blessings I have here alive, that I should fear to die. Therefore proceed. But yet hear this, mistake me not, no life, I prize it not a straw, but for mine honor, which I would free, if I shall be condemned upon surmises. All proves sleeping else, but what your jealousy is awake, I tell you, this rigor and not law. So she logically separates evidence from suspicion. She's clearly telling that you don't have any evidence for any accusations against me. And this is just your suspicion. And she also tells it as a critiques the proceedings as unjust, rigor and not law. She repeats this. This is rigor, not law. You're trying to put me behind the bars. You're trying to prove me to be guilty, but there is no evidence for it. It is just with your power, you're trying to throw things on me. And she also says, I can't fight against it. I'm not in a position to say you're wrong. If you think so, let it be. She submits herself. And so when she swoons in the court, she's taken away, and later it is declared as death. Of course, her husband keeps lamenting. He declares that he'll be lamenting all his life. Some with his son's death, and of course the news of his wife's death. But did that make any change in the women's uh, respect or honor is a question. And then she later appeals to higher powers and showcasing clear-sighted reasoning and rhetorical control, but nothing falls in favor of her. So that is a slightly, I don't know, this is tragic comedy, comic tragedy in the ways it is being called. Um, uh, because end of it, you also realize that she's not completely dead, nor of course, she's acquitted from her guilt. Her husband really acquits her. He is also guilty about how he treated her. Leontis finally says, "I'm sorry, I'm guilty. You're not the wrong," and things like that. But um, she goes through that painful period for 16 years, which is not a short time. Then here comes our beautiful heroine, that Beatrice, much ado about nothing. So Beatrice wit is not just comic, it is more analytical. She sees through the social performances and manipulations more quickly than the others. There are arguments that Beatrice is not the main character in the whole play, but I have chosen her to be the character that is to be analyzed because she is a most outspoken kind of character. She exhibits critical thinking, verbal reasoning, and more so social analysis. So Beatrice's sharp wit and moral logic makes her one of Shakespeare's most outspoken heroines. Um, the others do argue, but they don't go against. They most of what they do is only for defense. For example, what we have seen in Hermione is defense primarily, but Beatrice is also attacking. She outwardly attacks the patriarchal society, the hypocrisy that exists, the male kind of dominance that exists in the society. She outrightly, openly critiques it, and also speaks on the face to the men. And though she cannot fight as a woman, she logically persuades Benedict whom she loves, to defend Hero's honor. Hero is the other woman, actually, who is also considered to be the main character. And turning
It's 11
personal
o'clock.
banter into a call for justice. Her verbal sparring with Benedict throughout the play further displays intellectual parity and problem solving through language, particularly. So it is how they play with words that is more entertaining, engaging, as well as thought provoking for people who read it even today. So Beatrice's furious logical outbursts, some of them are here. Is he not approved in the height a villain that hath slandered, scorned, dishonored my kinswoman? Oh, that I were a man! What? Bear her in hand until they come to take hands, and then with public accusation, uncovered slander, unmitigated rancor. O God, that I were a man. I would eat his heart in the marketplace. Oh, that I were a man for his sake, or that I had any friend would be a man for my sake. I cannot be a man with wishing, therefore I will die a woman with grieving. So this shows all the negative characteristics of a man who exist in the society. They are very overpowering. They're there everywhere. They do everything wrong, but they don't allow women to say a word against them. So I don't want to be a man of this sort. I'm happy I'm dying as a woman, is her conclusion. Her analysis of the slander as calculated betrayal and her strategic appeal to Benedict to demonstrate both emotional and intelligence and practical reasoning. This is something which is a clean bowl kind of one. Another very important thing is, as a woman, she cannot fight against other men. So the only weapon she has is Benedict, and she instigates him to fight against others. So that is how her characteristic, again, her character also aligns with the public norms of the society of those times. But at the same time, she is not silent. She's also fighting against the conditions that they are in. These four characters use intellect not just for survival, but to subvert expectations, resolve crisis, and affirm female agency. So Shakespeare often pairs their cleverness with disguise or wit to explore gender roles, showing that logical thinking and problem solving transcend societal limits. So in the Me Too era, where women are also part of it, now you can see how Shakespeare has become immortal across omni sense across the ages, particularly because he even today our women's roles really uh, coincide with what he presented as a social negative practices of those days. And if you see the other figures like Helena in All Is Well That Ends Well, or Hermione in The Winter's Tale, uh, show similar kind of traits, but Portia, Rosalind, Violin, and Beatrice are the clearest exemplars in his dramas. Now comes our last lady, the most powerful one in Shakespeare's dramas, in the sense the politically shrewd and powerful one. Unlike in Macbeth, Lady Macbeth and her desire is very conspicuous from the beginning of the play, but Cleopatra's initially is not so. So she stands out particularly because she is often read as emotional, and Cleopatra is politically shrewd, calculating alliances and manipulating the perceptions. The skills that she exhibits throughout the play are political strategy, psychological insight, and situational intelligence. These are the trends that characteristics that she exhibits. And she's politically savvy kind of queen who rules Egypt amid Roman power struggles. So she uses wit, uh, theatricality, emotional intelligence, and strategic deception to influence Antony, outmaneuver Rome, and ultimately control her fate. She shifts between passion, mockery, and calculation, adapting to crises like wars, Antony's departure and defeat. Her intelligence lies in understanding power dynamics, manipulating perceptions, and choosing a noble death over humiliation. So she chooses to die. It is not others who can kill her. That is the pride of the character. She doesn't submit, she doesn't accept that she's losing. The minute she understands that she's losing, she kills herself. Even before anybody discovers the manipulation that she has done and the way she tried to win over the others, she kills herself. She embodies infinite variety, blending charm and intellect and pragmatism. These also to preserve the agency in a male dominated world. How she survives as a queen and how she takes the support of Antony and tries to play the political game. Though she is not very successful in that, but her attempt is being acclaimed across. The key scenes and acts in which Cleopatra's intelligence is being highlighted are Act 1, Scene 5, Act 2, Scene 5, where wit and strategic message. That is, while Antony is away, Cleopatra reflects on her past and plans daily letters to maintain influence. She shows playful calculation in her moods to keep Antony engaged. And in Act 3, scene 11 to 13, and also in Act 4, there is this post-actum strategy and deception. After the naval defeat at Actium, partly due to her fleet's withdrawal, she manages Antony's rage and her own survival through feigned emotions and alliances. She later deceives Caesar about her wealth to buy time. But again, anyway, she's not successful in those. Cleopatra's feigning submission to Caesar while plotting is also another very here I think you will start also disliking Cleopatra for the negative characteristics that she exhibits. But at the same time, you also will admire her for the way she tries to sustain her position. Sole sir of the world, I cannot project mine own cause so well to take it clear, but do confess I've been laden with like frailties which before have often shamed our sex. She then stages a scene with her treasure to appear cooperative while hiding assets, demonstrating layered deception. And the last one, to say how the last scene before death over captivating. I'm fire and air. My other elements I give to baser life. Now, no more. The juice of Egypt's grape shall moist this lip. Air, air, good airs. Quick, methinks I hear Antony call. I see him rouse himself to praise my noble act. I have immortal longings in me. I shall see some squeaking Cleopatra boy, my greatness, I, the posture of a war. And with that, that's the last scene, the last dialogue, and Cleopatra logically assesses that a Roman triumph would reduce her to a spectacle. And so she orchestrates her suicide with a ask for a dignified, mythic exit, and securing her legacy through the precise planning. So this is Cleopatra's. Swana, do I have another 5-10 minutes?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So the note of comparison between the characters that I have chosen, Hermione's intelligence is more restrained and defensive because it is she's in the hands of a tyrant husband. So dignity amid tyranny, fitting the romance genre's themes of patience and redemption. So finally, it becomes a comic one because all ends happily except for the boy's death. And Cleopatra's is active, mercurial. She is not being caught by anybody, and power oriented, driving the tragedy's political intrigue. Um, both, that is Hermione and Cleopatra, both use intellect to navigate male folly and assert autonomy, though in tragic rather than comic resolutions. Paulina also aids Hermione's problem solving, but she's the one who declares in the court that she's dead and makes her a statue and everything. But um, that is not an appropriate solution completely. So it is problem solving through the statute use in the last act. These characters enrich Shakespeare's portrayal of women as intellectually formidable across genres. They disguise as power. If you take Portia, Rosalind, and Viola, all use male disguise as a kind of borrowed passport for them to come into public, to talk, to have a dialogue and all. Their wit only gets full expression when they are temporarily not women. So whatever they are, whatever they exhibit is not approved socially in those times. So they roles are disguised and so they talk. Beatrice is a outlier here. She's fully vocally herself at all times, which is arguably the most radical stance of the six. So genre determines fate. Perhaps the starkest contrast. The four comic heroines are rewarding for their intelligence, the plays and reality around them. Cleopatra and Hermione, these are the ones uh, who have the tragic ending. Um, the tragedies and romances face a full weight of patriarchal power. Cleopatra chooses magnificent death over submission, where Hermione endures years of unjust punishment. Both are vindicated, but the cost is comparably higher. That is Cleopatra losing her life. Where power actually lives, Portia's is legal and rhetorical, and Rosalind's is theatrical and social. Beatrice's is purely linguistic. Viola's is emotional. Cleopatra's is political and spectacular, and Hermione's is moral. Together, they form a kind of complete map of the ways women could hold power in Shakespeare's world and exactly how far each form of power could take them. So, to consolidate, women who cross gender boundaries are Viola, Rosalind, Portia in disguise, and they gain to male spaces of logic, law, and power. These characters are often Shakespeare's most rational and articulated ones. To conclude, Shakespeare's female characters, from the fiercely intelligent Portia to the tragically loyal Desdemona, to politically astute Lady Macbeth and the spirited Beatrice, collectively reveal the dramatist far ahead of his patriarchal age. Uh, it's like seeing any of the um, uh, protagonists in the present day novels as well. How the women protagonists love to swim across the problems that they face, and how they stand up for their own esteem, the self-esteem that they carry, the honor that they have for themselves, how the present day characters are in life and also in fiction. So are the characters even in Shakespeare's age. Despite, say, though we still call Indian society as a patriarchal society, it's not as restricted as it was in Shakespeare's period. Though confined by the social and legal structures of Elizabethan England and often punished narratively for transgressing them, these women are never truly silenced. They could find a way to express themselves, to fight against the injustice that is being done to them or their dear ones. They manipulate language, they disguise themselves, and the wit to carve out agency within systems designed to deny it. And Shakespeare is neither fully he doesn't liberate his women nor entirely condemns them to passive suffering. So, you might also talk about characters like Ophelia in Hamlet, but that is not the tendency of other characters. Ophelia also has her own pain and her own reason to be so. Instead, he places them as a fault lines of power, desire, and identity, letting their contradictions breathe. So Ophelia's madness speaks what sanity cannot. So that is still Ophelia being a woman, being Shakespeare's woman makes her a different one. Cleopatra's grandeur outlasts the empire that tries to contain her. So the way she exhibits her wealth and the way it is being explained of how she carries herself in her own palace, the kind of power she has and demands attention, demands respect is not normal like others. But Wyler's disguise exposes the absurdity of gender as performance long before the theorists gave it a name. And Shakespeare's women are not merely reflections of Renaissance anxieties about women, female power, they are its most articulate critiques. In giving voice to their restraint as much as their rebellion, Shakespeare ensures that the question of women's autonomy is never settled, only deepened. That tension is precisely why these characters continue to resonate across centuries, across cultures, and across stages. Thank you. Now, I think I closed in time, and I have time to take 1-2 questions, not more. I once again thank Dr. Swarna and her team for making it possible to have this online conference. And I also appreciate everybody who is involved in the conference.
Thank you, Suvarna ma'am. If you have any doubt, my dear audience, if you have any doubts, please ask ma'am.
Ma'am,
And you can share your
good morning,
ideas also.
ma'am. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Suvarna Lakshmi ma'am told very well, ma'am, like a gold. Portia and Rosalind and Viola characters and Harmonious, Cleopatra, and all characters you explained very well, ma'am, in a deep insight. That is the women empowerment for Shakespeare's heroines, and now your women empowerment also, ma'am. Swarna, ma'am, you take a great step to conduct this online seminar, ma'am. Thank you for giving this opportunity. I am from Government Degree College, Chebrol. My name is M. Vijay Lakshmi, English faculty, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vijay, ma'am. Thank you.
But Swarna, as an organizer,
Ma'am.
may I ask you this
Ma'am.
question? What made you think about
Ma'am.
gender power and the patriarchy in, of Shakespeare's women? After
Ma'am,
400
actually, whatever
years,
actually I read and all, like, Merchant of Venice, even the tragic comedy, like Antonia, Olivia, Viola, this is like the Tempest, yeah. All these actually made me I mean, I see the women are very powerful, ma'am, and the psychological insights and all. Of course, everything is discussed previously, but still I feel that re-examining is required. So I talked to my associates and even Venkat sir and all, and they have mentioned that it's a very good point to this is that too in this particular era to talk about all these things. And he had whatever he has mentioned, it has universal appeal. For that reason, we all gathered and we all come to a conclusion that definitely this would be a thing everyone has to look into very deeply, closely. And also, we want to see the things in the lens of both women and men who are very educated, who are very sensible, and who are very academic. And in that way, we found you, ma'am. And really, we are very thankful to you, ma'am. See the way you explored the characters and which are really very superb, ma'am. You are always actually made me think, yeah, this is the way we have to see some kind of concept. This is actually the critical thinking. You made me learn, and today again I revisited it, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, Swarna. No, my question is different, and it's not related to
Really sorry.
how I did. Thank you for your feedback also. Thank you. That's nice of you. Any other questions to be
Ma'am,
taken?
please, ma'am. Actually, your question is different. Please, you pose the question again,
No,
and I'll try to.
your first part of your answer is fine. The second part of it went to how you learned from my presentation. I said that part is something which deviated.
Really, ma'am.
And
No, no,
I,
no.
I
Of
really
course,
appreciate
ma'am. Actually,
Swarna,
yeah, yeah.
because the eve of Shakespeare's birthday and English Language Day being today, and you starting a conference of this sort on that day, on this eve, also makes a lot of sense.
Thank you, ma'am.
Very,
Really, your insightful exploration of Shakespeare and female characters. Really, ma'am, it is a very exceptional, ma'am. So the characters, in your words, are more beautiful, elegant, and vividly alive. The clarity of your analysis combined with your engaging delivery helped us see familiar text from a fresh and meaningful perspective, ma'am. I request
Hello,
the other,
hello.
sir,
hello,
please
hello,
proceed.
Yes,
madam.
sir. Yes, sir.
So beautiful, wonderful. No words, no any other word. Very
Thank you so
beautiful.
much. Actually, I was feeling I might be out of place in this conference, but you make me feel better. Thank you.
Now, even though, madam, the way of you are talking and the way of your just explain, so beautiful, wonderful, madam. Thank you, madam. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, good afternoon, Dr. Suvarna Madam. I'm from
Good afternoon.
Maharashtra,
Good
and
afternoon, sir.
it's a
Yeah.
beautiful presentation by you. I had
Thank
one
you.
question for you.
Yeah.
Did Shakespeare intentionally gift his female characters with a superior logic to highlight the absurdity of the Elizabethan social hierarchy?
He did, sir. He did. It was very intentional. He wanted to say that women are no less than men. That is one reason why his women, and there is also stupidity and tyranny existing in male characters. If you see how stupid some male characters are, say, starting with Macbeth,
Yes.
Malvolio
how
also.
they, sorry.
Malvolio, ma'am. Malvolio.
And even all the characters that where women are being highlighted, the men there either act very stupid, or the men in these characters actually in these plays actually are the characters that try to show their power over the women. So Shakespeare wanted to counter it. He also started, once a female character talks that way, it also triggers some kind of thinking in the society. And Shakespearean time, having a theater of 3,000 people at a time to watch a drama, and that
Yes.
being filled across months, is not a small thing, which is also
Yes.
tending to influence the thought process of the society then.
Yeah.
And that is why we are reading him even today. So, sure,
Yes.
the male characters are stronger, intentionally created, and they are thought provoking even today, if not, and their influence on his own days is not very less, I should say.
Yes. Yes. Thank you, madam. One more question, madam. You have talked about Beatrice, much ado about nothing. How can the specific problem solving frameworks used by Beatrice, such as her use of wit to test a partner's intellectual compatibility, be applied to modern critical thinking?
Uh, Beatrice is always logical, kind of counter to men. As I told you, she's the most outspoken of all the heroines of Shakespeare, and
Yes,
she is
yes,
the one who exposes men's stupidity as well as their overpowering nature.
yes,
She doesn't immediately surrender herself for the conflict that she has, and she doesn't accept, despite falling in love with Benedict, she doesn't
yes,
immediately submits herself to Benedict. It is always
yes,
the argument or debate that she has with him that makes her
yes,
more outspoken. She knows she
yes,
can take that liberty with Benedict, and the
yes,
dialogue between both of them is thought provoking for all the audience.
yes. Thank you. Thank you very much, madam.
Welcome, sir.
Anyone
Good
want?
morning, madam.
Ma'am,
Good
please
morning.
proceed.
Yes.
Thank you for your presentation, madam. Very nice. This section is very interesting and wonderful ideas, madam. So, a good idea, good thought, madam. I am speaking from STSN Degree College, Kadri, Lalita. So, I like it. William Shakespeare's drama and fictions and the Merchant of Venice, the seven stages of man, all the world stage. So very nice, madam. Yeah, so genders, William Shakespeare's genders, and today listening is very interesting about the sections. Once again, thank you very much, madam.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, Lalita. Bye, ma'am.
Welcome, madam. So very interesting, madam. So I am very happy and so very happy. Good thought, madam. William Shakespeare, sir.
Excuse me, Swarna madam. Hello.
Hello. Yes, sir.
Sir, please.
So on this junction, I would like to tell one thing. In the Measure for Measure, Shakespeare wrote a quotation that our doubts are traitors and make us lose the good we oft might win by fearing to attempt. After listening this session delivered by today's resource person, Professor Lakshmi Madam, taught us to replace doubt with reasoning and fear with strategy, exactly as Shakespeare's women did in his works. This I would like to quote relatively to the session done by our resource person.
Thank you so
madam.
much, sir. That boosts my spirit today. You made my day.
Thank you, madam. And after listening your session, hope that all the listeners will forward your message to solve the problems with the spirit of all the lady characters mentioned in your session, like Portia, Rosalind, and Viola, into our classrooms, careers, and our day-to-day lives. And hope that in further days that hashtag MeToo should not become once again, where the women need to be identified. It is already identified. Thank you. Thank you, Lakshmi Manu.
Thank you, sir. Very nice of you to immediately take it to the classroom as well. That's very important today.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you on behalf of all the members, ma'am, all the members of this particular program. Thank you for your enlightening remarks and the class and everything, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
And we'll
Swarna and the associates for inviting me and making me part of it. I really honored the positive remarks given by all your participants as well here. I wish to meet more frequently on such platforms, all of you. Thank you once again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, madam.
Thank you. I'll continue to be in the session. Swarna, I'll continue to be on the session, just listening to the next speaker. So I'm
yes,
not
ma'am.
leaving
Definitely, ma'am.
the meeting. Thank you. Thank you once again. Bye-bye.
It is our pleasure to see you.
Malti, ma'am, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Malti Gabriel,
Yes,
ma'am. Okay.
yes, ma'am. I mean, am I visible and audible?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
madam, you are visible and very much audible.
Yes, ma'am.
Person for the second day, Dr. T. Malti Gabriel. Ma'am, Dr. Malti Gabriel is a distinguished professor of English with over 25 years of rich teaching experience and a strong academic foundation, holding an MA, MPhil, and PhD, along with qualifying AP set in English. She began her academic career through the Andhra Pradesh Public Service Commission as a junior lecturer and was promoted as a lecturer in 2010. She is currently serving at the Government Degree College for Women, Sri Kalahasti. An academician for remarkable merit, Dr. Malati has been the recipient of several prestigious honors. She was awarded the Neelam Sanjeeva Reddy Gold Medal for securing the university first rank in her postgraduate studies in English in 2000. Her excellence in teaching and commitment to education have been further recognized with the Best Teacher Award in the year 2019, the Savitri Bai Phule Award in 2023, and the Golden Guru Award in 2025. At present, she serves as the chairperson of the undergraduate DOS in English at Sri Venkateshwara University. She also plays multiple leadership roles as the IQAC coordinator and the head of the department, contributing. Ramya, please. He also plays multiple leadership roles as the IQC coordinator and head the department, contributing significantly to academic planning, quality enhancement, and institutional development. Her contributions extend beyond classroom teaching. She has served as an editor for an online international journal, worked as a Mana TV presenter, and contributed as an e-content developer, thereby enhancing access to quality education. A prolific researcher, she has presented papers at numerous national and international seminars and conferences and has published extensively in reputed, peer-reviewed, and UGC care-listed journals. She successfully completed a UGC-sponsored MRP in 2015 and continue to serve as a subject expert and academic advisor. We are privileged to have such an accomplished scholar and inspiring educator with us today. She will be delivering her session on the topic Shakespeare's Heroines, the Feminist Reappraisal for the New Scroll Age. Let us extend a warm welcome to Dr. Malati Gabriel for her enlightening session. Ma'am, warm welcome to you on this platform, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Is my screen visible, ma'am?
Yes,
I
ma'am.
shared the screen. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Shall I
The
begin?
title is there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Distinguished organizers, learned English fraternity, warm greetings to you all. We are here to honor and celebrate Shakespeare, the renowned dramatist of English literature and world literature too. Today, my talk is on Shakespeare's Heroines, the feminist reappraisal for the New Scroll Age. Just now we have heard from Professor about Shakespeare. She has given a beautiful and wonderful presentation. It's a scholastic presentation about Shakespeare and his heroines from different perspectives. And my perspective is from feminist angle. And I'm not going details about Shakespeare, but I would like to quote, Shakespeare is not of an age, but for all ages. He is a perennial writer. Ma'am. I would like to go to another slide, but when I clicked on enter button, it shows another one.
Shakespeare's heroines, that title slide is there.
Yeah. Now I got the second slide.
Yeah.
Before we go further into the topic, let us think about an activity. Here is a woman in a lawyer dress. I think you can identify her. She is Portia. And in 1596, Shakespeare's heroine in The Merchant of Venice, Portia, she said, "Tarry a little." Yesterday, in Instagram, the Instagram froze on the same line, same pause, and same power. Here is a question. What do a 16th century courtroom and your 2026 Instagram for your page have in common? It takes 3 seconds to judge. Shakespeare knew it first. Yesterday, I showed my 12-year-old niece one Portia line and she said, boss move. That is 400 years of feminist reckoning in 2 words. I would like to have a quick chat activity. Dear participants, please type one word in the chat that you associate with a Shakespeare heroine. For example, who comes into your mind like bold character, silent character, clever character, powerful or tragic. Please do that, at least one. Please type in the chat box about one Shakespeare heroine by each. Swarna ma'am?
Ma'am.
Yes. I'm not able to see the chat box.
Shall I answer it?
Yeah,
Shall I
yes,
answer?
Yes, one
Okay,
character.
are we talking about
from
clever, powerful, Viola, even, Portia?
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
If it
Thank
is
you, ma'am.
tragic, it is Othello's heroine.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Before we go into the present topic, let me quote from Samuel Johnson, which he has written in his preface to Shakespeare in 1765. He has given a statement that Shakespeare has heroines but no heroes. My talk begins where Johnson stops. If Shakespeare has no heroes, he has something more enduring for our moment. A feminist uprisal does not invent these heroines, it recognizes them on terms of Gen Alpha. My claim is not that Johnson was wrong. My claim is that Johnson's sentence is now our method. It connects to the present title, which I'm going to deliver in today's session. For Shakespeare, women are not silent ornament of the text. They are the vibrant figures of speech with wit, disguise, and resistance. In our news scroll age, their presence comes into our own with renowned force and relevance. The objectives of my presentation is from heroines unshackled to Shakespeare's feminist reckoning. Just now I have given one incident that when I asked my 12-year-old niece about when I quoted one Portia line, she immediately said boss move. That is 400 years of feminist reckoning in 2 words. That's what we are going to do in this presentation, in this session. The first objective is from heroines unshackled to Shakespeare's feminist reckoning. Next, from stage to scroll, tracking heroines in the newsfeed. And finally, from canon to comment, rereading Shakespeare's heroines in the news scroll age. The theoretical framework for this presentation is feminist reappraisal and news scroll theory. Feminist reappraisal. For that, I focused exclusively on Showalter, the American literary critic, who questions us: are Shakespeare heroines feminist? Or there is a shift from are they feminist to how do they function in feminist discourse? We are going to find it out. As far as news scroll theory is concerned, 2 eminent feminists were taken into consideration. Bannett Weiser. Bannett Weiser he has written a book called Economies of Visibility, and she's a professor of media and communication at University of Pennsylvania. And next, the Rosalind Gills, the first feminist sensibility. She also talked about the feministing angle of Shakespeare's heroines, combined focusing on both of their theories and their ideology about feminist scholarship related to or linked to Shakespeare's heroines. We are going to link again with live update culture as critical apparatus. The news scroll as a method. What is the news scroll age? Let me ask a question. 24/7 culture of updates, feeds, and alerts, social media timelines, news stickers, TikToks, notifications, comment threads. It's all part of news scroll age. Information never stops. It has been moving, posts, videos, articles, travels rapidly through algorithms. And it has made to collapse the distance from the classic age to, or from the 16th century to the present age. A line from Shakespeare appears in a tweet, hashtag feminist article, or a meme, instantly reinterpreted and recirculated by thousands across the world within a fraction of a second. Here comes a problem. 2 readings are there. When we are studying Shakespeare's women characters from feministic angle, we have to take into consideration 2 things. One is these women are product of patriarchism, and also they are ahead of their time. When I say that they are the patriarchal products, it means products of early modern patriarchy shaped by laws, marriage, customs, religious expectations, and gender norms that limit autonomy and silence voices. At the same time, these women hasn't remained passive. Instead, they're active, they are modern, they are feminist, they are progressive, they admire wit, intelligence. Feminist scholars admire their wit, intelligence, emotional depth, saying Shakespeare must have understood women better than his age. And why we call them as better than his age? Because Shakespeare's are best understood as figures whose textual strategies map directly onto the contemporary feminist tactics. I repeat, Shakespeare's heroines are best understood as figures whose textual strategies map directly onto contemporary feminist tactics, and that in news scroll age they become active participants in ongoing feminist disclosures, not just passive relics of the past. Yeah. As I mentioned in the earlier slide, the Shakespeare has written, as a literary writer, he has beautifully and wonderfully penned different women characters, more than 250 characters he has written with different attitudes, aspirations, and with different character traits. And these textual strategies can be confirmed, can be mapped with contemporary feminist tactics in the form of the way the characters they present their speeches, the acts of speech, their disguise and performance, and their resistance and refusal. Women like, as ma'am has earlier mentioned about Beatrice in Machado, about Nothing, Viola, Portia, Desdemona, or whoever may be the character, or Macbeth, they all speak back, argue, teach, challenge male authority in carefully crafted language. Of course, Desdemona remains as a paragon of virtue. We have Miranda, characters like Miranda, they remain as a persons who are confined to their homes, or who are confined to, who are under male dominated scenario. But there are other characters who came forward, who raised up their voice, and who presented their speech, and who began to challenge everything they faced, whatever they encountered in their lives. And secondly, disguise and performance. Women who cross-dress, role-play, adapt alternative identities to move through spaces close to them. We find parallels to the present-day women also that we are going to discuss about all these things. Resistance and refusal. Being a woman, they haven't remained silent. Some of the women characters who refuse to be erased speak truth despite risk, whose voices are punished but not silenced. Yeah. For my presentation, the critical foundations for feminist reappraisal is Shakespeare endowed his female characters with exceptional insight, opines Bradley in 1904. Bradley is Shakespearean critic, and he has a great admiration for Shakespeare's powerful female characterization. And next, I would like to quote the lines from Virginia Woolf, the feminist writer, who says Shakespeare's heroines often possess a will of their own. Virginia Woolf emphasis on female autonomy. Thirdly, I would like to present the words of Harold Bloom, the feminist writer, critic, and what Harold Bloom says. Shakespeare characters develop rather than unfold, and they develop because they reconceive themselves. I would like to quote this again. They reconceive themselves. Bloom's focus is on psychological depth. With this critical foundations for feminist reappraisal, here we go. Shakespeare's heroines, a feminist reappraisal for the new scroll age. I would like to reappraising the characters like Portia, Beatrice, Rosalind, Lady Macbeth, Cleopatra, and Black Lady in Shakespeare's sonnets, who most of us neglect. And I would like to present her also in this session through 21st century feminist discourse and digital culture. Case study, Portia. See, Portia, the courtroom scene goes viral. She disguised herself as Balthazar in male dress. Portia enters court, cites law, out-arguments men. Her speech, eloquent speech, quality of mercy speech combines legal precision with moral appeal. And now I would like to draw the parallels between the modern news called resonance. Her speech, her performance in the court scene makes her as a lawyer activist speaking in court and on social media. Lord Twitter quoting Portia in threads about clemency and gender bias. She is an inspiration from ages past to the present day that gender bias has been experiencing by women, and it has been presented by the character of Portia by Shakespeare. Televised testimony, women giving evidence, live streamed, tweeted, and reinterpreted through the character of Portia. The key claim about Portia's courtroom strategy is she's a prototype for how women use competence, legal precision, and rhetorical control to challenge patriarchal institutions. Next, I would like to talk about Beatrice and Rosalind. Beatrice, she is a heroine, as ma'am has also mentioned in the previous session. She says that men's love vows sounds like dog bark in 1598. I would like to repeat that sentence again. Beatrice, the heroine of Much Ado About Nothing, when the hero Benedict, he tries to praise her with poetic language, with confidence, and she refuses sentimental courtship, and ironically she says that men's love vows sounds like dog bark in 1598. Gen Alpha calls that the ick, some clap back 400 years old. Her lines, I would like to quote her lines. I had rather hear my dog bark at a crow than a man swear he loves me. She is a short, self-possessed refusal of sentimental courtship, delivered with irony and self-confidence. She is a modern woman. Next, I would like to mention about Rosalind's epilogue directly addresses audience. She says, if I were a woman, I would kiss as many of you as had beards enough to pay for it. She breaks the frame. She turns theater into playful address. In new scroll age, clapbacks and meme feminism, quote tweets, resisting gendered expectations, thread style final words where women step out of script and claim right to final word. Both of these women are outsmart men, and they have willpower, confidence, and their inspiration, and through their character portrayalized, they are not of an old age. They remain to the present age and continues to be the inspired women of all times. Next, I would like to mention about Lady Macbeth and Cleopatra. And both the women they are women of power. Lady Macbeth, she is an ambitious, manipulative, dangerous woman. She rejects natural softness, calls to unsex her, pushes Macbeth toward regicide. On the other hand, Cleopatra, in another drama, she is in the drama, her character was theatrical, self-dramatizing, politically canny, uses sexuality, spectacle, emotional performance to maintain power against Roman imperial ambition. Both these characters, which were penned by Shakespeare, they prefigure girl boss backlash. See, they try to dominate the entire scene and situation through manipulation. Women celebrated, then punished for being too ambitious, too short, too sexual. New Scroll still punishes women for same transgressions as canon encoded. Next, I would like to present about the Black Lady through feminist and digital lenses. If we reread the Black Lady mentioned in Shakespeare's sonnets, she is not just as a mysterious love figure, but as a woman shaped by ideas of gender, race, beauty, and desire. She challenges the old beauty norms and exposes the racialized politics of desire. Feminist reading asks how she is controlled by male voice and fantasy. Digital reading connects her to today's debates on Black beauty, visibility, and representation online. It's a well-known fact that only fairness is associated with white complexion. But women, the Black women, or women with confidence, women with a room of their own swoon, their creativity, their attitude or aspirations, their willpower. They tried to go against that stereotypic mentality. This black lady, which was mentioned by Shakespeare in 16th century itself, she tries to expose, she's tried to come out of it, and she tries to present that to go against the stereotypic attitudes and mentality of the male domination or the stereotype attitudes of both men and women. Yeah, as we have seen some of the case studies in the previous slides, we have seen about Portia, Beatrice, about Rosalind and other characters, and about Black Lady. All these characters, to put in nutshell, the insights, what they have presented to us is they are underestimated, unshackled and unforgettable through their political and intellectual firepower. We can call them as five brands. Cleopatra, Beatrice, Rosalind and Viola were routinely underestimated, yet each wielded extraordinary wit, strategic intelligence and moral authority. And we come to, just now ma'am has also mentioned, Beatrice is one of the best outspoken heroines of Shakespeare's women. She breaks all the rules with high-spirited intellect and a refusal to conform, a radical posture in the court of polite Elizabethan expectations. And all these heroines, they presented the strength as a norm, not exception. They didn't simply survive patriarchal society. They challenged, they subverted and reshaped it through loyalty, courage and self-possession. Yeah. And as these women characters from Shakespeare, they are feminist instruments. From Portia, rhetorical sovereignty in legal spaces, Beatrice wit and refusal resistance, Rosalind's gender performance and narrative reclaim, Lady Macbeth ambition and cost power, Cleopatra's political self-determination and sexuality, Desdemona's visible suffering testimony. Women in modern era also, women like these were also presented in the day-to-day scenario. And what, though, of course, they reveal, all these characters reveal both the restrictions imposed on women and the remarkable strategies with which those women resisted, survived, and spoke within patriarchal structures. A feminist reappraisal does not anachronistically modernize these characters. It reveals their enduring utility for theorizing, voice, visibility, and power in 2026. The place open, a powerful space for discussing gender, voice, power, identity, and the position of women in society, one that feminist criticism continues to inhibit. Yeah, from stage to scroll. Actually, Shakespeare, as a literary writer, with his creative genius, he has written so many plays. Most of his plays, all his plays, they were enacted in the Globe Theatre. And that Globe Theatre, that stage is the virtual powerhouses for all the other for all to have an inspiration from that, and to have that to the present day also, to have in the new scroll about those characters, about those heroines, how they lived, how they acted, how they came out against the patriarchal or male dominated scenario, how they tried to have their own identity in spite of having experiencing or encountering so many problems, and are having challenges ahead, and how they came out with flying colors. It all starts from the Globe Theatre, from stage to scroll. Rereading Shakespeare's heroines in the new age, in the new stage, is quite interesting, and it is not age-old, but it has several resemblances to the modern era, to the present day also. How? Let us see. Yeah, the digital echo. These Shakespeare's heroines, they are in the news feed, bringing these case studies, which I have mentioned in the previous slides, together. Let us dwell into three mechanisms through which the news scroll effect operates on Shakespeare's heroines. Yeah, that new scroll effect. What are those three mechanisms? Is Shakespeare's plays move across 5 acts with development, nuance, and paradox. In the new scroll, those characters, there's 5 acts of drama. They have been reduced to one line, one scene, or one hashtag, giving a 200 more than 280 characters of Shakespeare's verdict into one line or one scene or one hashtag. See, the new scroll effect, three mechanisms which were applied nowadays is compression. Portia, the character of Portia becomes for one line speech, for one line hashtag, that is the mercy speech. Beatrice becomes the clapback queen. Lady Macbeth becomes the evil, ambitious woman. Their entire character can be stated in one new scroll, in nowadays. And iteration or repetition. Each heroine, each character retelling or rewrites the heroine either through TikTok performance or YouTube reading or feministic blog post, all add new layers of meaning. Canon becomes open source text. Visibility text. If the characters are more visible, more judged, more archived, reread. Cost of speaking amplified by new scroll, yet visibility also power, solidarity, feminist connection. Yeah. Now, let us see the digital echo. Recently, in an Instagram post, I have seen the title of that Instagram is Mind Matters Today. It was published on April 12, 2026. Remembering Ophelia when silence hides suffering. Based on the mental health awareness, how Ophelia has undergone mental torture, her psychological experience, her name has become a synonym for mental health awareness. And in the Instagram, it goes like this: mental health awareness, Ophelia speak up. When it was posted in the Instagram, many present day women, they come out, they spoke out, they gave their voices, and they began to narrate their experiences, how Ophelia has experienced. And it has resemblance to the age-old 16th century characters, and it's not past. They are the vibrant speakers, they are the vibrant inspirers, and they have presented their psychological in-depth sufferings, trials, temptations, and whatever they have undergone. The same characters have been experienced by the present day women, and they found resemblance to it, and they began to chart through social media. And in the Times of India, Pune edition, it has published on 22nd January 2026 with the title "A Women Ought Not to Be Reimagines Hamlet is a Woman." It's an article published by the Times of India. The title goes, "A Women Ought Not to Be Reimagines Hamlet as a Woman." How funny it is. This reframing of Shakespeare's central figure into a female protagonist is a clear example of how his characters are being pulled into today's news scroll about gender, trauma, and agency. Next, I would like to give another example. In a linked blog, comments and Twitter threads from United Kingdom or United States of America or Australia, user says Desdemona's too intimate speech is exactly what women hear today. You shouldn't have trusted him. You shouldn't have been out alone. You brought it on yourself. Easily they can judge based on Desdemona's character, how she has responded, how her character is portrayed, how she has made herself to suffer like this. Now today's women predicament has been compared to that of Desdemona. Yeah, in India also, some movies are there. Some movies, Indian movies like Omkara and Haider. In the movie Omkara, Desdemona character is characterized as Dolly, and Arisha in Ophelia in Haider. In the movie Haider, Arisha is the character which resembles, or which was the Indian version of Ophelia character, and in that both these women are recast as women destroyed by patriarchal politics, mirrored how many Indian women are powerful yet sacrificed in families dominated by men. These reinterpretations are widely discussed on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter threads where users write, Dolly in Vomkara is just another Indian daughter who is killed for family honor. Desdemona all over again. There are many instances in day-to-day life we have been observing, we have been seeing in the news scroll, like characters like Desdemona, who has fallen in love with another man, and because of family honor, they have experienced so much of tragic incidents. And here Desdemona's plight, Desdemona's suffering was again resembled here, and her character was Indianized, and the film was taken in the form of Vomkara, with the title Vomkara. Arisha in Haider is our Ophelia, driven to madness by a father figure and a brother who talk justice while she drowns in silence. These two characters really connects to Shakespeare and to the present day scenario. Royal Shakespeare Company, one of the world famous theatre companies based in Stratford upon Avon in United Kingdom, it has a project called, it has a tweet called Such Sweet Sorrow, a Romeo and Juliet adaptation performed on Twitter 2010, where teenage users interacted with Juliet and Ophelia style heroines who spoke about peer pressure, surveillance, and consent in a digital world. They began to connect themselves with the characters with the women characters of Shakespeare. In a follow-up commentary, Juliet and Ophelia are described as young women whose private struggles become public news feeds, directly linking their Shakespearean suffering to how modern girls experience cyberbullying, outing, and online shaming. Yeah. Even in the Instagram also, there are 550 plus Cleopatra captions for Instagram queens. Here we go. I would like to read 5 captions. I will not be triumphed over, says Cleopatra. Strong women write their own endings. Charm is how I rule empires. History is written by queens like me. Beauty without strategy is wasted power. Captions like this were written by women of our times, women of the present day, and they began to narrate their stories, and they tried to highlight the character or the confidence or the attitude of the Cleopatra, who tried to have her own, a room of her own. And it has been presented in the Instagram also. From canon to comment, the unshackled heroine's journey. All the characters so far we have discussed what they expressed, what they thought. They tried to resilience across centuries, living reinterpretations, and the new scroll age. Shakespearean heroines teach wit, self-determination, and courage, lessons as needed in 2006 as in 1600. See, the Shakespeare's heroines, they try to teach lessons as needed in 2026 as in 1600. Living reinterpretations, books, productions, and cultural commentary continuously breathe new life into these complex female archetypes. The new scroll age, here, the continuous digital engagement allows endless rereading, proving these heroines' relevance flows unbroken across every era and medium. Yes, that's what I would like to emphasize on this. Again, the Shakespeare's Royal Shakespeare Company of a theatre by on Shakespeare's name. They have given Shakespeare's Strong Women on April 2026, reframes bold, brainy, and mischievous female characters as driving forces of their narratives, not supporting players. Juliet Stevenson writes that the book brings the women right into our present day, making their passions and predicaments urgently, personally relatable. These heroines deliver serious sass to the patriarchy, a phrase that captures both the wit of the original text and its modern resonance across stages and screens. Yeah. Now here is a question. Why re-uprise now? Do we need re-uprise? After listening to all the for half an hour about Shakespeare's heroines, rereading through feministic lens, and having found the resemblance with the modern day women, do we need to reappraise now? The answer is Shakespeare's heroines are not feminist icons; they are feminist instruments. It is a 400-year playbook. It has an archival precedent, and these women characters are active participants. This 400-year playbook, in the sense, these textual strategies, speech, disguise, refusal, performity, ambition, visibility, that continue to resonate till today. Archival precedent means historical figures that can be read, reread, repoliticized to help think about voice, visibility, power in present. And these characters can be called authentically as active participants, see, as in the new scroll age and early modern text, part of same feminist conversation. Heroines continue to speak now. Yeah. And we can say that, we can conclude like this: they have an enduring legacy. And just now we have seen in this session, tracking the digital metamorphosis, analyzed how Shakespeare heroines have migrated from stage to scroll, evolving from literary archetypes to hashtags and viral news topics. And secondly, we have deconstructed the feminist reckoning, examining how 2026 media discourse uses Shakespeare women to both critique and uphold modern patriarchal standards. And finally, rereading the canon in the newsfeed age, presented a methodology for scroll reading classic texts where the brevity of a headline reveals the enduring, unchanging nature of the female predicament. Yeah. The timeless strength, evolving narrative. Ma'am? From candlelit stages to glowing screens, the heroines endure, reinterpreted by every generation that encounters them. Yeah. Here, I would like to draw parallels from Shakespeare's heroines and to the present day. In 1596, we have Portia. She speaks with purpose in male court, in male dress, to save Antonio. Now in 2026, we can resonate Portia-like character, Sudha Murthy, one of the founders of Infosys. Ma'am, some disturbance is there? Ma'am.
Hello. Please mute yourself. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Swarna, madam. Swarna, please mute yourself. Okay, ma'am. Please continue.
Yes. Now we can draw parallels with, we have Portia-like character, daring and dynamic nature. We can compare with Sudha Murthy of 2026. She claims the floor in male-dominated tech philanthropy. First female engineer at Telco, now Tata. She said that she told no ladies, no toilets, and she's the first female engineer. She has written a letter to the Telco company, and she joined there as a female engineer. Prior to her, there are no vacancies for women. There is no room for women to work there. And she has been a trendsetter. The through line is economies of visibility. Both put on the visor. The system respects lawyer robes, engineering degree to be heard. Yes, whereas Portia, she disguised herself as a lawyer, and she came there to rescue men, and with her bravery, wit and intelligence, she tried her best, and she gave voice, and she tried to save her husband. And like in another case, we come across Sudha Murthy. She hasn't saved one person. She came forward and she gave her voice, and she paved the way for many women to take up the profession. Yes, Shakespeare's heroine, Rosalind, in As You Like It, she runs away, cross-dresses as Ganymede, coaches Orlando in love. There is a modern parallel with Shakespeare's heroine, Malala Yousafzai. She uses education and global stage to coach world. And we have another character, Greta Thunberg. She has given a speech. How dare you? She scripts the moral script for adults. She questions the so-called elderly people, the politicians. What action have they taken to protect the environment? And she raised her voice, and she has been an inspiration. We come across, there are parallels to Shakespeare heroines and to the present day women who came out of their norms, who raised their voice, who tried their best to do something for the society or some good, to do something good. Next, I can proudly say that Shakespeare heroines and modern women shared the same DNA. The band visors, both take off girl visor, put on teacher or activist visor role to enter male space of politics or climate. The parallels is seen between Malala Yousafzai and Greta Thunberg and also Rosalind. Next, Catherine from Taming of the Shrew. The shrew who won't be silenced in Act 5 speech debated for 400 years. Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, we should all be the feminists. Michelle Obama, when they go low, we go high. Michelle Obama, in one of her talks, she said that when they go low, we go high. When the situation or when the scene is not for the women, we should raise, we should go high. Here, I would like to bring about the popular feminism by Bennett Weiser. Is the final speech submission or masterful sarcasm? Same debate as modern women's empowering speeches, strategy or surrender. Here, I would like to put it in nutshell. Portia put on a robe to be heard in court. Sudhamurthy put on a lab coat to be heard at Telco. Greta put on a school strike sign to be heard at the UN. Different visors, same economy of visibility. Shakespeare wrote the beta version. Open for discussion. Madam?
Good afternoon,
Open.
madam.
Good
Madam. Excellent, madam. Your pronunciations and your speech and presentation and William Shakespeare, it is a heroine and everything is very nice, madam.
Thank you, madam.
Such teachings and enlightening. Your section is very interesting and carries literature and the theoretical and the problems to the readings and textuals and the strategies, critical foundations and everything and case the studies of Portia and Portia wearing this coat. So this is very nice, madam. Martenda finish where the listen this lesson. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, madam.
Okay, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Dr. Malchi, madam.
Yes, good afternoon, sir.
You mentioned the scroll page.
Sir, you are not audible, sir. You are not audible. You are not clearly audible.
Am I audible, madam?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Please. Yes.
Am I audible? Yeah.
Sorry,
Sorry, madam.
Madam, you mentioned the new scroll age. Do you think the rapid fire nature of modern outrage culture makes us more or less forgiving of the problematic elements found in Shakespeare's treatment of women?
Sir, please repeat the question again.
Yeah. You have mentioned about the news scroll age.
Yes.
Do you think the rapid fire nature of modern outrage culture, nowadays people become more outrageous, makes us more or less forgiving of the problematic elements found in Shakespeare's treatment of women?
It depends, sir. It depends on the context. and how we react or respond. Sometimes we have to forgive, sometimes we have to go against it. It depends.
Okay. One more last
Your
question
perspective
from
and
me.
your opinion may be
One
different
more
from
thing, sir.
how I react, how
Yes.
I respond. Being a woman, my
Yes.
perspective may be different. I can
Yes.
understand. I
Yes.
Women are
can check
not
my
outrageous, sir. Now they are
shoes.
opening their mouths.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes. Yes. I accept that. One more question, madam.
Yes, sir.
If these heroines are instruments, as you have quoted,
Mm.
rather than icons,
Mm.
does that mean their value is tied only to their usefulness to us today? Or do they still possess an inherent literary value that exists outside of our modern feminist needs?
Yes, your question itself states that they not only possess the literary value because of their powerful presentation.
Yeah.
Yes, they are dynamic, they are active, they raise their voice, they have willpower. Though they are under male domination, patriarchal scenario, they have many challenges ahead. Still, in spite of that, they are the heroines of their age, not only of their age, but to it continues. It continues
Yes.
to balance
Okay,
everything
okay.
emotionally, professionally,
Yeah.
family, and everything. Being
Yeah.
a women, I feel proud about Shakespeare's women. They resonate, they resembles, they inspires, they talks, they acts, and whatnot.
Yes. And that too long back, 400 years back.
400 years back. From canon to comment, being now we can comment about them. It's easy to comment, but
Yes.
in that comment, we have to analyze both about their situation, about their response, their reaction, how they responded, their feelings. We have to respect. It's not an easy task for a woman to come out with a voice.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much, madam.
Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, Gabriel, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Good
Your
afternoon.
is really unique, ma'am. The one quality which I liked is that taking Shakespeare's heroines and showing us the contemporary heroines in the modern world, in the reality, in the real world. That is Sudhamurti or Michelle
Yes.
Obama or
Yes,
Malala.
ma'am.
Really,
Yes, ma'am.
the women, along with the works, the women in real world, they inspire us to
Yes, ma'am.
difference, not only in our lives, but also in the society, in other women's lives. That's really
Yes, ma'am.
inspiring for your
Yes, ma'am.
presentation. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. May I know your name?
Ma'am, I'm
Where are you
Sujna.
from? Sujna, from
Hyderabad.
Hyderabad, ma'am. You are a heroine. You are an inspiration. Yes. Being a woman, yeah,
Yes.
we have to pat ourselves.
Yes. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Still, we can
Are there any
cite many
queries?
examples. We can cite many examples of present-day women. But due to time constraint, I made my presentation only confined to some slides.
Still, we have a plenty of time, ma'am. Don't worry.
Yes, madam. As a woman, as you have
Queries?
talked about that, in Maharashtra, there was
Hmm.
one lady named as Sindhutai Sapkar.
Hmm.
All right, literally, she has been thrown out of her house by her in-laws and all these things. She begged at the railway station, and then she started one orphanage at Pune,
Hmm.
and nearly 700 children. She becomes the mother of 700 children.
Hmm.
She brought up them. Some of them become IAS officers, medical officers.
Hmm.
Some 2 years back, she passed away.
Hmm.
A woman, if she decides, she can achieve anything.
Hmm. Yes, sir. There is a saying from Shakespeare: some are born great, some have achieved greatness, and some have greatness thirst upon them. Even we
Yes,
can,
yes,
instead of greatness, we can replace that greatness with efforts or sincere commitment, confidence, willpower, hard work.
Sure, madam, sure.
Yes, sir. We do appreciate Shakespeare heroines and also the modern women. Even a servant
Yes.
maid who works at home, how much agony or stress or physical work she has been doing to
Yes,
balance
yes,
everything.
yes, sure.
I have to congratulate and my sincere appreciation to the organizers, both Venkat sir and Swarna ma'am, for organizing such a lively topic as the theme or the title for this international conference. Even I have learned so many things while discussing or while reading about Shakespeare in feministic lens.
Thank you, ma'am. First of all, we should be thankful to our colleges, ma'am. Okay, and with their support only, like our principal sir Tripanyam and academic coordinator and the whole staff and our members, English staff members, they have given us a lot of support. For that reason, actually, we have made it possible.
Yes, ma'am. Many of us
And
have heard about. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, please.
Ma'am, today's resource persons classes are very sonorous, ma'am.
Okay.
Suvarna ma'am, Malati's ma'am's classes.
Many of us have heard about Shakespeare's heroines, have read about Shakespeare's women characters, but until it links to the present women, present predicament of the present women, we can't get the real essence of why Shakespeare has written. Of course, as a literary writer, as a creative genius, he has written about so many women characters. He has produced so many women characters, but they have in the present new scroll age, their presence comes in its own with renewed force and relevance.
Yes, ma'am. Time to time, even our perceptions can be changed, ma'am. And as we are in the modern era, and that too, what you said, that new scrolling time and all this, scrolling is. So this is really very, very important, re-examining all the characters. As we have a very little time, that's the reason we have taken this kind of chunk.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Sir, any one of you, please proceed. And if you have any queries, you can ask, or else you can go with your thank note.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Rambabu, SKVT GDC. Respected Dr. Malati Gabriel, ma'am, thank you for your truly engaging and thought-provoking lecture, ma'am. Your case studies on Shakespeare's women through feminist lens were insightful and illuminating, ma'am. This session was absolutely gripping, and your clarity of ideas combined with powerful examples, ma'am, and perspective to familiar text, you made the characters come alive with depth and relevance, ma'am. We sincerely appreciate your inspiring session, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Ma'am?
Ma'am.
Shall I leave? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Shall I leave? I think the session is over.
If there are no queries, and then you can, ma'am.
Yes,
we'll ask our participants, our delegates. I request any one of you, please ask some of your, or if you're whatever actually you have felt, you please share your opinions. Give us your feedback. That is very, very important.
I really appreciate to have lively discussions and interactions than to present only the slides or the whatever we have compiled from different sources. It's, it enhances our thinking.
Dr. Malati Gabriel, I have one last question.
Sir,
Shakespeare
please mention your name, sir. Please mention your name.
Roshan Prakash Potukuchi from Maharashtra.
Maharashtra, yes, sir.
Yeah. Shakespeare gave his women some of the most intellectual and biting dialogue in English literature. Does the new scroll age, which favors imagery over complex rhetoric, help or hinder our appreciation of their verbal power.
It really helps, sir. Based on their verbal rhetoric presentation, the imagery was also framed, digitalized, visualized. It enhances. Their talk enhances in the form of imagery.
Okay.
Definitely,
Good afternoon,
definitely
Prakash sir.
verbal communication.
Yeah.
Good afternoon,
Yes,
Prakash
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
From Vidarbha.
Yeah, Vidarbha, Maharashtra, Amravati.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Actually, by birth from Andhra, but I am since last 58 years staying in Amravati, Maharashtra.
Situated in Vidarbha.
Vidarbha, yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, the discourse are meant for all the intellectual and all this. And actually, as you are the part of it, and you are very enthusiastic and you are trying to share your knowledge, at the same time, you are trying to fill the gaps which are actually in the minds of all the people, but you are representing it. It's really very good, sir. Good stride. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Giving voice for the unvoiced.
Yeah. Sometimes we know the answer, but still we pose the question.
Yes,
okay,
ma'am.
to
Yes,
make
ma'am.
people understand very clearly
Yes.
and all. Right?
Yes,
It's just like that. Anyways, Venkat, sir?
Hello.
Sir.
Yes, ma'am. Please.
Please proceed, sir.
Just a minute. Hope that there are no more questions from the delegates. Okay. Madam, is it audible?
Yes, you are audible, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Manu. I would like to sum up the two sessions. Respected Professor G. Swarnalakshmi and respected Dr. T. Malathi Gabriel, along with the esteemed principals of both the institutions, head of departments, distinguished faculty members, students, and all our dear participants. On this auspicious day, the 462nd birth anniversary of William Shakespeare, it's deemed and a rare honor to propose and sum up of the two landmark sessions that together gave us a 360 degrees view of the bard's women, from logic to liberation, from parchment to pixel. I would like to continue my gratitude to Professor G. Swarnalakshmi ma'am. Your session was a masterclass in cognition. You took the shield out from your poster, a woman composed of constellations, circuits, scales, gears, and labyrinths, and proved she was real. Through Portia's scales of justice, Rosalind's gears of strategy, Isabella's labyrinth of ethics, and Viola's open book of survival, you really demonstrated that Shakespeare's heroines were not emotional archetypes, but executives of reason. Your session was a new trinity for the classroom and the boardroom, that is, read, reason, and resolve. It shows us that problem solving predates by 400 years. We are deeply indebted to you for the insightful talk. Next, I would like to continue my gratitude to Dr. T. Malti Gabriel Manum. The topic what you have were logic let off and scrolled us into the present. A feminist reappraisal for the news scrollage connected framed portraits on parchment to user icons, hearts, and hashtags on our phones. Your expressions regarding the beat rates, which was already going viral. Rosalind's disguise was a masterclass in controlling narrative. Portia's courtroom was the original live stream. In the news scrollage where attention is currency, you taught us to spend it on rereading for making 16th century women speak the language of 2026 with agency, consent, and voice. We thank you very profoundly. Together, our two speakers gave us a complete portrait. Professor Lakshmi gave us the mind of Shakespeare's women, the constellations, circuits, and clocks. Dr. Gabriel gave us their voice, the scroll, the swipe, and the hashtag. As Shakespeare wrote in All's Well that Ends Well, our remedies oft in ourselves do lie. Today we learn that for his heroines, those remedies were logic, language, and the courage to head. On behalf of this conference, I thank both of our resource persons for reminding us that Shakespeare's women are not history, they are truly blueprint of today's society. Thank you, both the resource persons, for making the day a fruitful. Thank you, Lord.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, madam. And dear past participants, tomorrow will continue from 10 o'clock with the same link, and kindly join on time so that we can truly inspire and take the insightful ideas, thoughts, and expressions from our beloved resource persons. And presentation session will start in the afternoon on 24th from 2 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. Thank you all. Thank you, Menon. Thank you, Swarna Lakshmi Menon. Thank you, Swarna Menon.
Hello.
Hello, sir. Hello, Ramesh.
Session, when session is going to remove today?
Sure, madam. Thank you.
Is there session today, sir?
No more session, sir. Session is ended up. Today's session. Tomorrow, 10 o'clock onwards.
No, not today. Not today. Okay.
No more session, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Please tune up in the WhatsApp group. All the updates will be shared in there. Thank you, sir.
Have a nice time, sir. Have a nice time. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you to you also, sir. Thank you. Thank you all.
Okay, bye.
Sir, tomorrow morning sessions, the speeches by the resource persons, and afternoon, our paper presentations. Sir.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It will be updated in the group.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, madam. Shall we leave?
Yes, sir.